Morning, everyone.
Morning.
I'm calling our regular Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency meeting to order at 10:03. We're located in the Village of Broadview Chambers, 2350 South 25th Avenue. I don't think Celeste is here today, so we'll just do a roll call. Dave Scalise? Here. Administrator Jones? Here. Mayor Thompson here. Mayor Rebo?
Here.
Trustee Mazzano?
Here.
Manager Berry?
Here.
Okay. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Next on the agenda is public comment. Any public comment? Next on the agenda are the minutes. I need a motion and a second.
Motion. Second.
Has everyone had an opportunity to review the minutes? Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is the monthly financial for March 2025. Kelly?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
At the end of March, there was just under $10.7 million in cash in the bank. About 5.3 of it is restricted related to transmission main extension and debt service reserve. That includes the amount transferred that will be for bills through February. So there's still 2 months worth of cash that's sitting in the general checking that belongs to the restricted funds. It's just a timing issue by the time we collect it and things like that. Operationally wise, we're coming to month end. God, I feel like this thing is echoing. Trying to find the right page. As of March 31st, we're running a surplus of $2.4 million. That's primarily because of the fact that we hadn't done the project yet. We also got significantly more interest income, and our revenues are running higher than budget. So that will help us as we move forward towards issuing bonds to cover the cost of that project. So it creates continued reserves, and that's that.
Thank you, Kelly. Any questions for Kelly from the board? Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is new business. The public hearing proposed for fiscal year 2025-26 budget and appropriations from May 1st, 2025 to April 26th. So, Mike, I got a question. Are we supposed to suspend our regular board meeting and go into a board meeting for the public hearing?
That's usually, yeah, I don't think we have to be too formal, just, we can move into the public hearing right now, open it up, run through the public hearing matters, and then close the public hearing, and then, we can move back to this regular board meeting.
Okay, I need a motion to suspend our regular board meeting to go in to have the public hearing.
Motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I would like to call, so now we're going right into our public hearing meeting at 10:07 a.m. I'll call the meeting to order at 10:07. Roll call, Dave Scalise. Here. Administrator Jones. Here. Mayor Thompson here. Mayor Rebo.
Here.
Trustee Mazzano.
Here.
Manager Berry.
Yes, here.
Okay. The acknowledgement of the public hearing notice was published in a local newspaper. Okay, and then the proposed presentation of the proposed fiscal year 25-26 budget and appropriation. Who's going to do the presentation? Is it Kelly or the superintendent or both?
The projected budget that's being proposed right now is showing a deficit of $1.4 million. The deficit is because we're planning on using reserves to pay for the water main project, or the water tower project. Can't speak today. As far as revenues are concerned, we're projecting a $3 million bond. That would be a little under half of the cost of the project, which is more than we projected originally when this project began. But when the project began, we had projected that 50% of the project would have to come from bonds. Right now, we're looking at closer to 40 to 45%. So that's a positive thing. We conservatively budgeted on interest income, only because of the fact that at the time, we were thinking that the market was going to have some cuts, and that hasn't come to fruition. So we definitely believe that we'll have more in interest income. The revenues for the member districts are based on a simple 19-cent raise related to City of Chicago based on their prior year's usage. So we feel that those revenue numbers are solid. The expense numbers, there's nothing, with the exception of putting in the project, there's nothing significant that we feel is outside the norm of what we normally do year after year. So if anybody has any specific questions, then we can answer them specifically. We've provided explanations in the draft of the budget to you as to what each line item is meant to cover. Okay?
Thank you. For the discussion of fiscal year 25-26 budget and appropriation, are there any questions regarding the budget? Okay.
No.
Thank you, Superintendent, for working on this. Discussion of the ordinance authorizing and approving. So once we go back into our regular meeting, we'll make a motion, or I will recommend that the board approve the fiscal 25-26 budget. Are there any questions by the board or the committee members regarding the budget? I want to defer to Administrator Jones and Manager Berry to give us some highlights of what discussions took place, if you all don't mind, for transparency.
A couple of things, Mayor and President, that we had noticed, so that we looked at and did our due diligence on, which was, one of the concerns was the line item for an accountant, because of where we increased it with the recommendations from our current our current accountant, because we're looking now of where we put in 48,000, because we don't know, based on the specs that we get from the other auditors, to see where we fall in. So that's why we just put it at 48,000. We took the recommendation of the current accountant. Also, when it came to our expenditures for training and also for the mayor and the president in order to go to different functions, we kept that in there the same. And also, when it came to the pay rates, we had noticed, and we looked at it because we had noticed it was kind of off, because we didn't get the clarity from the accountant until after the budget was proposed to us. So we just wanted to bring it to your attention that, based on your recommendations, Superintendent and Manager Bear and I, we did meet. The accountant couldn't meet because of her vacation and her standard time. So we just did our due diligence just to go through it line by line, just to make sure that we were at budget time when it came to our expenditures for the board. Manager Bear, do you have anything to say?
Thank you, and we also talked about some of the capital items and looking into the future and maintenance. That was one thing that we did, and even with the vehicles, making sure that you have 4 tires. But we did look at each of that line items. Superintendent did bring up some concerns that obviously we're circling back to, but everybody working together and reviewing everything that you see before us. And the water rate discussion did come up, but that's for us all to have at this point in time too.
Thank you both for doing this for us. Mayor Rebo, is there anything you want to add?
Nothing further at this time.
Okay, are there any questions or comments from the public? Hearing none, are there any final questions from the board or comments? Thank you. I'll make a motion to adjourn this public hearing at 10:13.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. I make a motion to go back into a regular session at 10:13.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is number 2, consideration and approval of an ordinance 2501, an ordinance authorizing and approving the fiscal year 25-26 budget and appropriations for the Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency.
Motion for approval.
Second.
So we just came out of a public hearing. Are there any questions or comments from the board regarding the budget that's proposed?
Nope.
Okay, I will do a roll call. Dave Scalise,
Yes.
Administrator Jones,
Yes.
Mayor Thompson, yes, Mayor Reval.
Yes.
Trustee Mazzano,
Yes.
Manager Barry,
Yes.
that carries. Okay, old business, status report on the expansion of the agency water reservoir capacity to 1.5 million gallon water reservoir at the 10th Avenue Pump Station. Any updates?
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I believe the contracts will be finalized today. They're before the board this morning. So we'll get those back to the contractor, probably have an initial meeting. I know at the building department review last month, there were just some minor changes they requested. They're in the process of doing that. And then the next big bridge to cross is the bonding, of course, which I believe will happen at the end of this year. And then the anticipated construction will begin early 2026.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Number 2, under old business is consideration and approval of the finance report as of March 27, 2025. The checks is from March 28, 2025 to April 24, 25 in the amount of $356,568.03. The agency check numbers are 1778 through 1725. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing Manager Barry?
Yes.
Okay. Trustee Mazzano? We're doing the roll call, trustee.
Oh,
Or do you have any questions or
no,
comments?
I'm so sorry. No questions.
Okay, Mayor Reval?
Yes.
Mayor Thompson, yes. Administrator Jones?
Yes.
Dave Scalise?
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries. Next on the agenda is consideration letter from City of Chicago dated 2025 regarding a 4% water rate increase effective 2025. I don't think we need to take action on it. I mean, what consideration do we get?
Notification more than consideration?
What'd you say, Kelly? 19 cents. So do we have to approve the 19 cent from the City of Chicago, Mike?
No, it's really under, do you want to, I know it's a pass-through, usually, in the past, you sometimes haven't passed it through and you've absorbed it in your current rate. Other times, you passed it through at either that number or at a higher number than what the city's charging. So I think there's a discussion to have.
Yeah, last year, because we did such a large increase the year before, last year we kept it, we didn't pass it through because we had done such a large raise the year before. This year, we budgeted to pass that 19 cents through to you, and that's the only thing. But we still need, at the next meeting, it doesn't go into effect till
June.
July.
Or is it
and
June or July?
June. And so it would go into effect on, so you'll have to pass a amendment to your rate ordinance at the next meeting.
And I would prepare those documents just based on the direction today, and they'll be ready for vote next meeting.
Okay. So I think we need to discuss it. Mayor Rebo, you
If
have?
I may ask a question, are you recommending, based on the budget, to increase the members by 19 cents? The full 19 cents?
So the budget is prepared to do that, so yes.
Okay.
And then evaluate it again next year, depending on where we come in at.
And so for a point of clarity, the 19 cent is per gallon, usage?
Per 1,000 gallons, yes.
Per 1,000 gallons, okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions? Okay, so I would make a recommendation that we get the ordinance created to create the pass-through for the water rate increase. Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is consideration and approval of Resolution 2502, approving amendments to the employee handbook of the Broadview Westchester Joint Water Agency to adopt a clothing and uniform allowance policy. Need a motion and a second?
Motion for approval.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next is number 5, consideration and approval of a letter to the Illinois Department of Transportation at its cost, the pre-design engineering, construction, and restoration plans, specification, and permit applications on behalf of the agency for the 24-inch water main relocation work to be completed as part of the 2026 bridge replacement project on I-290 Eisenhower Express over the Des Plaines River. This will reimburse the agency for its costs, preparing to detail cost estimates and completing engineering reviews for all plans, specification, and permit applications associated with the project. And C, to perform construction and restoration work for the project. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, we're gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah, so this is one of the requirements IDOT is asking the agency, just a formal request, that they bear the costs of all that, so that's what we're doing now. I understand they're in the process of preparing their own IGA, which they will then submit to the agency.
Okay, thank you for that
Thank
update. So do we need to do all in favor, say aye?
Aye.
Okay, so that'll be on the, will that be on, we'll wait for the IGA to come and then,
We can submit this now.
Okay. Okay,
And then the IGA will come at a later date for action. I'll do a resolution. We'll bring the short, and then Mark will do a short little cover memo, and we'll present it.
so the letter that's submitted will come from Hancock Engineering?
No, from the agency.
From the agency, okay. Okay,
And we have that drafted for counter signature by the 2 mayors.
okay, thank you. Next on the agenda is the superintendent report.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
My superintendent's report is on file with the board electronically. For the month of April, the agency completed a total of 41 Julie locates along with daily maintenance. The station pumped 93,347 gallons of water, and I also attached the water use comparison data sheet for April with my superintendent's report. The water operator position is still open. We're still accepting resumes. I looked into the American Waterworks, the American Public Works Association. For 45 days, for a fee of $1,000, the job posting would be posted for 45 days. So I wanted to ask if, is that something that you want me to do? Because it's $1,000 for 45 days. Is that something?
If we're not getting any attraction from how we typically will post for that position, yes, we need to
Okay.
to invest in that so that we can get the qualifications that we need, because they will probably be members or someone in that space of work so I would say yes. Maybe.
Okay.
I would as well. If I could ask one question regarding that. Are there non-qualified people applying or nobody applying?
Non-qualified.
So there are applications, but
Yeah, we are getting people that are applying, just not.
they don't fit?
Yeah.
Understood. Thank you.
And then the board that you sit on for the city of Chicago, do they do job postings for the members? Because I think that would be beneficial too, that they can circulate that in their network.
I could ask.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah, I
be
could look
good.
into those. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then also, I would like to get proposals from a few companies to try to locate the agency's water main from the Austin Boulevard vault back to 10th Avenue. I have been called out for, I guess you could say, almost near hits to our water main with borings. I would like to ask the board permission, is it okay if I could get the proposals so we could get the price on actually locating that water main?
Yeah, I think that's protecting the infrastructure of the agency, absolutely.
Okay, and then this question is for the accountant. In regards to Lauterbach and Amen, our audit is still not complete. We have a list of things that they were requesting. Do you know when we could get this back by?
Yeah, they sent me that list this morning, so I will work on getting those final requirements back to them. I didn't get a chance to read them.
Well, so that we don't hold up, we respect people's time for this board meeting. Can you
Yeah.
all work that out and
Yeah,
just
definitely.
circle back to us when
Yeah.
we should get the answer back from them? I think by the end of business tomorrow, it should be sufficient to read whatever documents and to circle back to us on what needs to take place.
Okay, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions for the superintendent? Okay. Yes,
If you need help with finding companies to locate, let me know.
Okay.
yep, thank you. Do we have any items for closed session? Nope. So I will, before I ask for a motion to adjourn, I just want to say congratulations to Mayor Rebel for being reelected to the Village of Westchester. I think your input and value to this board is very, very valuable. And so I'm happy that we both got reelected to
Well,
continue to serve.
congratulations to you as well.
Thank you, Mayor, so that we can continue to do the work and get the job done on what's best for the Village of Broadview and the residents of Westchester. So congratulations
Thank you.
again. And without anything else, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion, meeting adjourned at 10:25.